Listen, really listen, because this is not a coincidence. Something soft and steady is pressing against the edges of your heart right now, as if a gentle hand were turning the key from the inside. You have called this moment by name in the quiet hours when the world slept and only your questions stayed awake. You have wondered why love keeps arriving as lessons in beautiful disguises, why the timing slips like water through your fingers, why your chest tightens at night with that inexplicable emptiness no one else seems to notice. Here is the revelation you were never meant to miss. The delay is not a verdict. It is a veil. It is not punishment. It is protection. The waiting is not because you are unworthy or forgotten. It is because you are being prepared, guarded, and gently led toward a love that can hold the full weight of who you are. What if every apparent detour was a corridor designed to spare you from smaller rooms? What if every no, every almost, every sweet beginning that soured was the wise hand of God, closing doors that would have dimmed your light? What if every tear you thought fell into emptiness was received as a quiet prayer, a seed planted in soil you could not yet see? The truth is more beautiful than your fears allow. Your soulmate is not late. Your story is right on time, and the ache you carry is not a flaw. It is a compass. It points beyond infatuation, beyond spectacle, toward recognition. Not the recognition of perfect potential, of what someone might become if you work hard enough to fix them, but the recognition of essence, of the person whose soul is tuned in the same key as yours. Let us name the pain honestly, because honesty is how the heart finally exhales. You are tired of calling courage what was actually self-abandonment. You are weary of mistaking chaos for chemistry, of shrinking your needs to make love more comfortable for someone else. You remember the conversations that sparkled like dawn and then dissolved into silence. You remember the promises that felt holy until they asked you to betray yourself to keep them. In the ashes of those endings, it was easy to wonder whether you were the problem, whether love is a language you will never speak fluently. But look more closely. Each ending placed a tool in your hands: discernment, boundaries, self-respect that is no longer a theory, but a living practice. The seeming emptiness then was a workshop. The silence was instruction. The nights you thought would break you were, in fact, the nights you were remade. Here is the secret that heals as it shocks. You have not been waiting for love to find you. Love has been waiting for you to become impossible to misrecognize. While you learn to love without losing yourself, your soulmate is learning to love without control. While you forgive what tried to define you, they are releasing what once confined them. Two journeys, sculpted in parallel by the same divine artist. And in that hidden sculpting lies the reason for the timing. Recognition requires authenticity. Souls cannot truly recognize one another through masks. When the veil thins and the hour arrives, it will not be a rush to perform or persuade. It will be the simplest kind of knowing. You will not have to force what is already aligned. You will not need to audition for what is already yours. So let us set the compass for the path ahead. We will walk through the signs that matter and the ones that merely distract. We will exchange desperation for devotion. Devotion to the truth that your heart is being prepared to carry a love that does not wobble when life is heavy. We will release the myth that suffering is proof of sincerity and hold instead this gentler truth. Healthy love is not fragile. The protection you mistook for postponement is the mercy that ensures you meet at your full height, not in the shadows of your unhealed hunger. Every closed door has been choreography. Every detour has been design. Every breath you take as you hear these words is part of a convergence already in motion. If this stirs something deep, if your spirit feels as though it is standing up inside you, take one small step of faith with me. Comment 111 below to anchor this moment. 111 is the mark of alignment and new beginnings. Your quiet yes to divine timing, your way of saying, I am ready to recognize what is already mine. And if this message resonates, subscribe now so you do not miss the next chapter of this journey. What follows will give you language, clarity, and peace for the exact road you are on. There is a tenderness hidden inside the delay that most of us overlook because pain is loud and protection is quiet. We learn to measure time by what arrives, not by what is lovingly turned away. Yet the God who hears your midnight questions has also stood at the threshold of your heart like a careful guardian, filtering what seeks entry. The disappointments you labeled as failures, the almosts that sighed and dissolved, the sudden coolness after a burst of chemistry. These were not random storms. They were closed gates along a cliff. They were the mercy that kept you from walking a path that would have looked scenic at first and then narrowed into a ledge. Protection rarely announces itself. It simply refuses the counterfeits with a firmness that can feel, for a while, like loss. Let us strip away the shame that clings to endings. It is not that you are too much or not enough. It is not that you love incorrectly. It is that true love will not be entrusted to a heart still trained to confuse intensity with intimacy and chaos with closeness. A merciful delay disentangles those wires before fire starts. It makes you fluent in the difference between recognition and projection, between seeing who someone truly is and seeing your hope painted on their face. God is too committed to your future to allow the hunger of the present to bind you to what dims your light. So the door shuts, the message is slow, the warmth fades, and you stand in the quiet wondering whether you broke something. You did not. Something was broken already, and the delay kept the shards from embedding deeper. Every ending leaves a tool behind, though we seldom notice it while the air is still thick with ache. One connection teaches you how manipulation sounds when it puts on its charming voice. Another shows you where your boundaries were paper thin and how to line them with steel wrapped in velvet. Another reveals the unmet need that kept choosing the same familiar pattern, thinking this time it would finally soothe. In this way, the delay becomes a school for the heart. Not a punitive classroom with cold walls and red marks, but a workshop where you learn the craftsmanship of love that sustains rather than dazzles, then collapses. You learn to stay with yourself when attention withdraws. You learn to honor your no without decorating it in apologies. You learn to stop arguing with reality when it reveals itself. Consider how often haste has blurred your sight. In the rush to end loneliness, we audition for roles we never wanted and deliver performances that exhaust the soul. We try to deserve what should be given freely. We silence our inner warning bells because the music of possibility is so loud. Delay is the holy pause that lets the noise drain away until you can hear the quiet instrument of truth again. In that quiet, you remember the texture of peace. You remember how your body relaxes when honesty enters the room. You remember that affection without respect shrinks you, and attention without consistency empties you. You remember that love, in its mature form, does not need spectacle to prove itself. It chooses you in unglamorous moments and keeps choosing. There is also a protection you cannot see yet because it belongs to the future version of you. The person you are becoming, steady, luminous, grounded, requires companions who honor that version, not just the current one. Some relationships would have affirmed your past wounds so convincingly that you might have built a home inside them and called it destiny. Delay prevents that construction. It holds you at the threshold until the foundation is reinforced with self-respect, until the architecture of your life can bear the weight of a love that does not wobble. It spares you the renovation required when a house is built too quickly on soil that was still settling. God is not taking your time. God is giving you a lifetime by refusing to let you mortgage the future for relief in the present. Let us tell the truth about regret. Much of it is born from decisions we made when our clarity was low and our craving was high. Divine timing reverses that ratio. It elevates clarity and softens craving. It teaches you to sit in longing without bargaining away your values. It reorders your priorities so that peace ranks higher than performance, kindness higher than charisma, character higher than charm. Delay is not the absence of movement. It is the realignment of direction. You are not circling aimlessly. You are being turned, degree by gentle degree, toward the intersection where recognition happens without argument. What feels like suspension is actually calibration. And there is the other side of protection, what it spares the other person from in you. This is not accusation, it is humility. There were seasons when you would have asked a partner to heal what only God and time could touch. Seasons when your tenderness was tangled with rescue. When your great capacity to give slid into self-erasure. When "I love you" meant, "I will carry both our lives until I collapse." Delay loves the future union enough to keep both of you from meeting in those shapes. It asks you to become the person who brings wholeness instead of a ledger, who offers partnership instead of penance, who can receive without suspicion and give without bargaining for worth. Protection also looks like doors that open but reveal themselves as rooms for a brief rest, not permanent residence. Not every connection is a covenant. Some are way stations, safe places to remember you are desirable, to practice telling the truth, to rehearse the language of boundary and need. When those rooms ask you to stay longer than your growth allows, protection taps the frame. You feel the edge of discomfort. You hear the old conversations start to repeat with new faces. You sense that to remain would be to slowly exchange your peace for approval again. And so the delay resumes, not as punishment, but as a pilgrimage back to yourself, which is the only place from which you can meet your person without disguises. If you listen closely, you may notice how the delay has already altered your appetite. You no longer find chaos captivating. The unpredictable no longer seduces you simply because it feels intense. You feel your nervous system relax in the presence of sincerity. You are drawn to consistency, the way a plant bends toward light. This shift is not random. It is evidence that protection has done its quiet work. It has detoxed you from counterfeit fuels. It has made you attentive to the subtler signs that used to whisper beneath the roar of attraction. It has taught you the grammar of gentleness so that when love speaks in its native tongue, simple, steady, clear, you will not mistake it for boredom. Do not fear that protection means scarcity. It means precision. The path narrows, not because options are disappearing, but because your vision is. You are learning to recognize the narrow gate that leads to life, the alignment of values, the resonance of purpose, the ease that accompanies truth. Wide gates are noisy and crowded. Narrow gates are quiet and exact. Delay guides you to that precise doorway. It is the shepherd's staff on your ribs steering you from the cliff's lip toward the meadow you could not see from your angle. You will call it obvious later. You will say, "Of course it was this." Only in retrospect do we see how carefully the path curved. So let this chapter end with a gentle reversal of the story your pain tells. You are not behind schedule. You are being carried at a pace that preserves your soul. You are not being ignored. You are being guarded. You have not missed your chance. You are being refined to welcome it without self-betrayal. When love arrives, and it will find a heart that has learned to stay with itself, a mind that trusts the quiet, and a body that recognizes safety. That is what the delay is building. A sanctuary sturdy enough to hold joy without fear of collapse. And that is why, in the arithmetic of heaven, waiting counts as progress and protection is the first language of love. There is a holy symmetry unfolding beneath the surface of your days, a choreography you cannot see yet because it is taking place in two hearts at once. On one side is your becoming, slow, deliberate, luminous. On the other side is theirs, equally refined, equally important, equally guarded by the same divine hand. We speak so often about our own healing that we forget the parallel workshop across the veil, where another life is being rearranged so that, at the appointed hour, Two honest selves can meet without the noise of pretense. This is why timing matters. Recognition is not the celebration of a mask. It is the quiet astonishment of essence meeting essence. God does not introduce costumes. He presents truth to truth. Until both truths are sturdy enough to stand upright, the meeting would be premature, and premature meetings turn miracles into maintenance. Imagine a craftsman shaping a vessel to hold rare oil. The clay cannot be rushed. Too little heat and it crumbles, too much and it cracks. In the same kiln, another vessel is being formed, designed to sit beside the first in perfect balance. You are one of those vessels. Your person is the other. The temperatures of your trials may not be identical, but their purpose is coordinated, and that coordination is mercy. While you practice boundaries that do not bark, but do not bend, your soulmate is learning responsibility that does not vanish under pressure. While you are recovering your voice from the places where it was silenced, they are learning to listen beyond their reflex to defend. While you are exchanging people-pleasing for integrity, they are exchanging control for humility. These are not small adjustments. They are the rewiring of love's nervous system so that your future union can breathe without gasping. There were seasons when you tried to carry both roles, the healer and the beloved, the teacher and the partner, and found yourself collapsing under a weight that no human heart was built to bear. The mirror of preparation removes that fantasy. It refuses to let you posture as savior or to assign that burden to anyone else. You are being led, instead, into a mutuality that honors the truth that two whole people are more tender, not less. Your tenderness is not a liability. It becomes a precise instrument when matched with someone who reverences it. Your strength is not a fortress. It becomes a shelter when paired with someone who does not mistake hardness for safety. In the mirror, you discover that the love you long for is not theatrical intensity, but exquisite reciprocity. An exchange of energy that renews rather than drains, steadies rather than startles, clarifies rather than confuses. Consider the lessons you have already harvested and how they prepare you not only to receive, but to be received. You learn to tell the difference between apology and accountability. The first can be a flower placed over a leak. The second is the repair of the pipe itself. You learned that availability without alignment is simply noise with good intentions. You learned that loyalty to confusion is not loyalty to love. These lessons are not bruises you carry forever. They are maps you consult quietly. And just as you have been apprenticed to wisdom, so has your counterpart. There is someone out there discovering that attention is not the same as presence. That provision without tenderness leaves a soul famished. That admiration cannot replace affection. There is someone learning to speak gently in conflict, not because conflict is avoidable, but because honor is non-negotiable. When those maps meet, yours and theirs, the journey does not become effortless, but it becomes clear. Authenticity sits at the center of this preparation. It is not the dramatic announcement of your virtues. It is the unhurried practice of being yourself when it would be convenient to perform. The mirror insists on this in both of you. It closes the doors where you would have been rewarded for pretending and opens the spaces where sincerity is the only currency. In that economy, you stop bargaining for love with overfunctioning and undervoicing. You stop negotiating against your own needs for the privilege of staying. You become simple in the holiest sense of the word, undivided. And because authenticity is magnetic to authenticity, the one who is meant for you is being drawn, quite without spectacle, to the frequency you are learning to maintain. You will not have to scream to be heard. You will not have to shrink to be safe. You will not have to harden to be respected. There is also the matter of purpose. How your stories braid together, not only for mutual delight, but for a work neither of you could accomplish alone. Preparation in mirror protects purpose. It refines your callings so they complement rather than compete. Perhaps you are discovering a devotion to building quiet beauty in chaotic spaces, while they are discovering the courage to hold those spaces steady. Perhaps your voice is meant to lift, and theirs to anchor. Your vision to pioneer, and theirs to fortify. Where immature love turns differences into battlefields, mature love turns them into instruments tuned to the same key. The mirror does this by removing the need to be everything. You are allowed to be precisely who you are, because someone else is being formed to love that exact shape. And you, in turn, are being formed to love theirs. Do not underestimate the unseen logistics being arranged on your behalf. Preparation includes geography and timing, friendships and mentors, doors that open with quiet hinges, assignments that redirect your steps by a single street and place you within recognition's reach. The same God who counts your tears also counts the intersections. He weaves resilience into your calendar and clarity into your conversations. The delays you lamented become the very pauses that save you from arriving undercooked. The opportunities you feared missing become proofs that nothing meant for you will require you to violate your soul to obtain it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the veil, the same choreography is unfolding. Altered commutes, revised plans, new rooms where the air finally fits. Two lives moving toward the same horizon, guided by the same quiet hand. And yes, there will still be human edges. You will bring your history. They will bring theirs. Preparation in mirror does not sterilize the story. It sanctifies it. It equips you to repair quickly when you misstep, to apologize without dramatics, to forgive without erasing lessons, to choose each other on ordinary Tuesdays when nothing sparkles but faithfulness. It trains you to recognize the difference between discomfort that signals growth and discomfort that signals violation. It retrieves your peace from the places you outsourced it. It separates solitude from loneliness so that you enter the union full rather than famine-struck. Full hearts make generous lovers. Famished hearts make negotiators. The mirror is turning you into the former. If you listen closely, you will notice subtle confirmations that this formation is working. Your taste is changing. Your pace is calmer. Your prayers are less frantic and more precise. You no longer plead for someone to arrive. You ask to be aligned with what is true. You no longer fear that honesty will cost you love. You fear, rightly, that the absence of honesty would cost you yourself. And somewhere, right now, your person is awakening to the same conclusions. They are learning to treasure steadiness over spectacle, to lay down defenses without losing discernment, to honor their word as a covenant with their own soul before it is a promise to yours. When two people arrive at that edge, the meeting does not need fireworks. It needs only a room where truth does not have to shout. So let the mirror relieve you of hurry. Your task is not to manufacture a collision, but to continue your becoming with reverence. Trust that while you are being shaped, someone is being fitted to your contours, not to duplicate you, but to stand beside you as a testament to how precisely love can align when God directs the craft. What is forming in you is worthy of the weight. What is forming in them is worthy of honor. When the hour ripens, you will not meet as two rescuers or two performers, but as two whole selves who recognize, almost with gratitude's ache, that every lesson, every detour, every fire was leading to this. A love that can be lived, not managed. A covenant that adds breath to your lungs. A companionship in which both of you can be fully seen and, being seen, deeply safe. There comes a season when the surface of life looks unchanged, yet beneath it, the current shifts direction, depth, and speed. And the only way to notice is to become exquisitely attentive to the subtle. Synchronicity is heaven's handwriting. Ordinary moments annotated by extraordinary timing. You glance at a clock without trying, and the same numbers greet you like a chorus you have heard in your sleep. A stranger speaks a sentence that meets you exactly where last night's prayer trailed off. A book opens to the paragraph you needed, and you cannot explain why your hands turned there. These are not parlor tricks or cosmic fireworks. They are gentle signatures reminding you that you are being guided, that the path is alive under your feet, that preparation is not theoretical, but happening in real time. Yet signs alone are not a compass. They are cues. Discernment is the instrument that tunes them. Without discernment, we can turn anything into an omen and end up worshiping coincidence instead of listening for direction. With discernment, a pattern emerges. The right signs arrive with peace rather than pressure, clarity rather than compulsion, invitation rather than breathless urgency. Peace does not mean the absence of feeling. It means your inner world is not forced to sprint. Urgency shouts, act now or lose everything. Wisdom whispers, move when your yes is clean. One creates panic, the other creates steadiness. When heaven speaks, the message may challenge you, but it will not ask you to betray yourself to prove your faith. Your dreams begin to change in this season. The restless montage gives way to scenes that carry the fragrance of meaning. Sometimes you sense a presence beside you. No face, no name. Only a calm that feels like home. You wake with sentences you did not craft, and they linger through the morning like a thread you are compelled to follow. Symbols repeat. A well, a gate, a bridge, a ring of light along a horizon you cannot yet reach. Do not obsess and do not dismiss. Write what you remember without forcing interpretation. Ask, what does this draw me toward? Not, how can I control the outcome? Dreams in this chapter are not puzzles to be solved, but invitations to attention. They train you to notice, to pause, to honor the language of your own soul. Your body speaks too in ways you once ignored. The nervous system, once addicted to the fireworks of inconsistency, begins to soften in the presence of sincerity. You notice you breathe deeper around truth, that your shoulders drop around respect, that your laughter is unlabored around people who are not performing. Conversely, your chest tightens when a familiar pattern attempts to return, dressed in more polished clothing. Your body remembers what your mind might rationalize away. Honor that memory. It is not cynicism, it is wisdom written into your cells. When your peace shrinks to fit inside a relationship, the body will tug your sleeve long before your thoughts admit it. When your peace expands in someone's presence, the body recognizes safety and tells the truth with relief. Pay attention to conversations that converge. A friend tells a story that mirrors your own. A mentor highlights a passage that names your season. A song lyric frames the same lesson in new language. This is more than coincidence. It is chorus. The world is harmonizing to make a single point ring clear. You are being prepared for recognition, not performance. Recognition is not a lightning strike that scorches the ground. It is a dawning. You walk into a room and something inside you unclenches before introductions, before promises, before projections. Your values align without negotiation. Your nervous system rests without demanding proof. The soul says quietly but distinctly, yes, this is the texture of true. Still, there are counterfeits. Not every echo is a confirmation. Some are merely the acoustics of longing. Charm can imitate warmth for a time. Eloquence can masquerade as integrity. Spiritual vocabulary can decorate a hungry ego. How do you guard your heart without closing it? Test fruit, not fireworks. Ask simple questions that pride cannot answer. Does this connection expand your honesty, or does it make you edit yourself to remain desirable? Do their apologies repair behavior, or do they merely dampen tension until the next rupture? Do you leave their presence with clearer boundaries and deeper calm, or with confusion you must explain away? Fruit takes time, and time is precisely how discernment protects you. Because the counterfeit resents the patience the real can easily endure. Notice the shift in your attention economy. What once demanded constant checking loosens its grip. You stop scanning your phone for omens and start scanning your soul for peace. You become less interested in predicting the moment and more devoted to preparing for it. Paradoxically, that loosening accelerates alignment. Heaven has room to work when you relinquish the steering wheel you were never meant to white-knuckle. Your days fill with small obediences, replying to the message that matters, declining the invitation that dilutes you, returning to the practices that keep you clear. Prayer, journaling, silence, service. These are not dramatic gestures. They are steady signals, and steady signals make it easy for the right person to find you without confusion. As you near the threshold, synchronicities cluster. Invitations arrive that stretch your courage by one gentle degree. A move you had postponed suddenly becomes feasible. A project ends cleanly and frees your calendar without drama. You find yourself in rooms where your voice sounds more like itself, where your presence is not negotiated, but welcomed. At the same time, former dynamics lose their flavor. They are not evil, only too small for the person you are becoming. This twin sensation, expansion within and release without, is the bell that tells you the hour is ripening. You are not chasing. You are being positioned. You are not forcing. You are cooperating with a choreography you did not design yet fully recognize. If doubt returns, and it will, because hope risks, bring it into the light and ask it precise questions. What exactly is unclear? What specifically are you afraid to lose if you wait for what aligns? Vague dread dissolves in specific inquiry. Replace superstition with practice. Keep a brief record of the patterns you notice, the peace you feel, the choices that reflect your emerging values. Over time, that record becomes its own sign. A living archive, proving you are not who you were when you first asked for love. You will see in ink how your taste changed, how your pace slowed, how your heart learned to stay with the truth without flinching. That history steadies your present. It tells you you are capable of recognizing what is right for you without trembling. Finally, remember that signs are road lights, not destinations. They exist to move you with humility and courage toward the life growing beneath your feet. When recognition arrives, it may not glitter. It may look like two ordinary lives saying yes to an extraordinary alignment. You will feel the quiet click of a lock meeting its key, not because you solved a riddle or pressured a door, but because timing, truth, and tenderness converged. Discernment will not make you suspicious of love. It will make you faithful to it. And the signs, those small, luminous confirmations, will keep you walking steadily, eyes soft and heart awake, until the person formed for you steps into view and your soul says, with grateful certainty, I know. Alignment is not a metaphor. It is a frequency. Love of the kind your soul recognizes does not simply arrive because you want it enough. It lands where the signal is clear. Healing is how you tune the instrument. Wounds do not make you unlovable, but they can distort the music. Bitterness lowers the pitch, shame muffles the tone, resentment adds static. When you practice forgiveness, gratitude, and service, you are not performing niceties. You are calibrating your spirit to the wavelength where recognition is effortless. These three practices are not sentimental gestures. They are precision tools. They cleanse the lens, unclench the heart, and return you to the honest self whose presence love can actually find. Begin with forgiveness, the practice most misunderstood because it has been confused with permission. Forgiveness is not saying the harm was acceptable. It is saying the harm no longer gets to be your jailer. It is the deliberate decision to stop carrying debts that the past refuses to pay. When you release resentment, you do not erase memory. You release its power to script your future. You do not reconcile with what is dangerous. You reconcile with your own peace. Imagine the energy you spend rehearsing the scene that wounded you. The late-night debates with a ghost. The imaginary speeches that win a trial long concluded. That energy is sacred fuel. Forgiveness redirects it from courtroom to construction site. It does not make you naive. It makes you light enough to move. Forgiveness requires specificity. Vague release dissolves by morning. Name what happened without decoration. Name what it cost you. Trust, time, tenderness, laughter. Name what you now choose instead. Clarity, boundary, gentleness, rest. Then, enact repair where you can. Sometimes repair means an honest conversation. Sometimes it means a clean, respectful distance. Sometimes it means closing a door and bolting it from the inside. Let forgiveness coexist with boundaries that are steel wrapped in velvet. You honor God and yourself when you protect the healed places. The point is not to prove your holiness by tolerating what breaks you. The point is to preserve your wholeness so love can live in you without fear. There is a second forgiveness, more challenging and more liberating. Forgiving yourself. For the times you stayed after your peace had already begun to leave. For the moments you dimmed your own light to be less intense. For the ways you confused rescuing with loving. Self-forgiveness is not the erasure of responsibility. It is the refusal to make shame your teacher. Shame punishes and paralyzes. Mercy trains and restores. Offer yourself the correction you would offer a beloved child. Firm, clear, and warm. Replace the inner prosecutor with an inner guardian who tells the truth without humiliation. A simple practice helps. Each evening, give yourself one mercy minute. Name one choice you regret, extract the lesson, speak the kinder sentence you needed to hear, and decide one different action for tomorrow. Small mercies repeated become a new nervous system. Move then into gratitude, which is not denial. It is disciplined attention. Gratitude does not pretend the wound was pleasant. It recognizes that grace was present in the same room as pain. It trains your perception to locate provision, not to minimize what hurt, but to magnify what helped. When you practice gratitude, you shift from scarcity's question, "What is missing?" to sufficiency's question, "What is working?" That shift recalibrates your expectations in love. You cease to hunger for proof that you are worthy and begin to notice evidence that you are already provided for. A conversation that grounded you, a sunrise that quieted your mind, a task completed with integrity when no one watched. Write 3 honest gratitudes daily, specific, ordinary, unglamorous. I thanked myself for leaving a message unanswered until I had clarity. I thanked the silence that did not feel like rejection. I thanked the courage to say no without apology. This is how you teach your heart to recognize goodness without spectacle. Gratitude, rightly practiced, also reinterprets the archive of your life. The closed doors you cursed become bridges you did not know you crossed. The relationships that ended become teachers you no longer need to invite inside. You do not rewrite history to make it pretty. You bless it for making you precise. Gratitude is a rebellion against the lie that your story is a sequence of almosts. It declares, "Even here, goodness threaded the dark." That declaration changes your posture in the present. A grateful heart does not bargain for love. It welcomes love. It does not clutch. It receives. It does not hoard. It shares. Love is drawn to that spaciousness, the way gardens are drawn to light. Then there is service, the third key. Not codependence dressed in holy clothes, but service as overflow. Service that empties you of yourself in healthy measure and fills you with purpose in fuller measure. It could be as humble as carrying a neighbor's groceries, as quiet as interceding in prayer, as practical as mentoring a younger soul through a maze you once wandered alone. Service widens your heart's bandwidth. It moves you from the cramped apartment of self-concern into the wide field where other lives matter. In that field, you become less preoccupied with your timeline and more attuned to God's choreography. Paradoxically, this loosening accelerates alignment. The life that is bigger than your longing makes room for the union meant to join it. Service, practiced wisely, keeps you from the old trap of earning love by exhaustion. You serve from a cup that is filled, not a tank scraping fumes. Ask yourself before you say yes, does this help me tell the truth about who I am and what I value? If the answer is no, service becomes self-erasure, and self-erasure sabotages alignment. If the answer is yes, you will feel the subtle lift that accompanies purpose. That lift is attractive in the deepest sense of the word. because it signals steadiness. Your future partner is not searching for a savior. They are praying for a companion who can hold purpose without abandoning themselves. Let your service be testimony, not theater. These three practices, forgiveness, gratitude, and service, form a daily liturgy that tunes your life. In the morning, forgive. Release yesterday's entanglements before they narrate today. At midday, serve. Give your time or attention where it multiplies peace. At night, give thanks. Review the hours with honest eyes and a soft heart. Over weeks, you will notice your choices clarifying, your pace settling, your discernment sharpening. Your appetite for chaos will diminish. Your tolerance for ambiguity that insults your peace will wane. Your capacity to receive tenderness without suspicion will expand. This is alignment made visible. Alignment that does not depend on luck or pressure, but on the steady shaping of a soul that knows its worth. Do not underestimate how magnetic a healed heart becomes. Not perfect, healed. A heart that can bless the past, honor the present, and welcome the future without trembling. A heart that does not confuse penance with love or drama with depth. This is the heart that recognizes its counterpart not by fireworks, but by peace. Keep choosing these keys, not as a performance to earn destiny, but as a devotion to live ready. The frequency you keep will call to the one tuned in the same key. And when that resonance arrives, you will not need to chase, convince, or contort. You will simply open the door you have been faithfully building within and say, with quiet certainty, "Welcome, I have been aligning for you." Let us pause and look back at the path we have walked together. You began with a question shaped like an ache. Why has love not yet arrived? We answered with a quieter truth. Delay is not punishment, but protection. Not absence, but orchestration. We named the workshop hidden inside the waiting, the tools laid in your hands by every ending. Discernment, boundaries, self-respect. We traced the parallel formation of two hearts being molded by the same wise hand, so that recognition would be of essence, rather than costume. We listened for heaven's handwriting in signs and synchronicities, and we learned to test fruit instead of fireworks. We tuned your life through forgiveness, gratitude, and service, until the music of your soul grew clear. And we let the ancient story of Isaac and Rebekah lift our eyes to a love authored without frenzy, anchored in purpose beyond two. Now, at the edge of this journey, the most important work is not to strain for the horizon, but to inhabit who you have become. This is the benediction of your waiting. You are no longer chasing love as a rescuer or auditioning for it as a performer. You are receiving love as a truthful self. That truth is your safeguard. It will keep you from shrinking inside counterfeit warmth and from mistaking intensity for intimacy. It will help you honor the no that protects your future and the yes that answers it. When your person comes, as all this formation has prepared you to believe, they will not ask you to abandon yourself to keep them. They will meet you where your peace lives. They will recognize the vocabulary you have practiced in private. Honesty without cruelty, tenderness without erasure, commitment without control. Your union will not be proof that you finally earned what was withheld. It will be evidence that you learned to welcome what was always intended. Do not fear that you will miss the moment. Destiny rarely shouts. It arrives sounding like your own life, faithfully lived. Keep tending your field in your interior, your craft, your word, your prayer, your rest. Keep choosing small obediences over grand theatrics. Keep blessing the past without reopening rooms that cost your peace. Keep forgiving, not because harm was harmless, but because your future is too spacious to be governed by old debts. Keep serving from overflow, not exhaustion. Keep giving thanks for the ordinary mercies that stitch your days together. These are not delaying tactics. They are the very currents that move you toward recognition. Love finds people who are home in themselves. When the hour ripens, you will know. not because the sky splits or choirs descend, but because something in you unclenches in the presence of what is true. Your breath will lengthen. Your questions will grow precise and calm. The familiar hunger to perform will not appear. You will recognize the cadence of a promise you have been practicing in secret. Two lives choosing each other with clarity, humility, and joy. The path will not be free of weather. No real story is. But you will have built the house that keeps the weather out. Together, you will carry a purpose that neither of you could lift alone, offering oxygen back to the world that taught you how to breathe. So let this be the final word and the first step. You are on time. Nothing essential has been lost. Every closed door has curved you toward a truer opening. Walk forward without hurry, eyes soft and heart awake. Trust the choreography already in motion. When your soulmate turns the corner prepared for you as you have been prepared for them, your soul will say, gently, gratefully, and without argument, I know. And you will understand, with a peace that needs no witness, why every other door had to close.